What happens when your entire family gains superpowers? Exciting, right? The only problem is, they have to be together for the powers to work. Hi, welcome back to Reels Review. Today, I'm going to explain the movie titled Invisible Girl. Spoilers ahead, watch out and enjoy. The film begins as many meteors can be seen descending towards Earth at top speed. The scene shifts to the Russian harbor where our protagonist, Oleg, is loading something from a great ship onto a small fisher boat. It is revealed to be caviar and weighs 1 ton. The boat owner refuses to transport the cargo, saying his boat can only carry 600 kilograms. Oleg does not heed this warning, so he pretends to call his wife. Instead, he calls the thug loading the caviar and tells him to tell the fisherman that the load is 600 kilograms. When the fisherman confirms the weight, they get into the boat and start rowing towards the shore. Unfortunately, before long, the boat and the cargo start to slowly sink. The two men have no option but swim to the shore. The incident infuriates the fisherman, who starts hitting Oleg asking for compensation. Oleg ends up parting with his modern car and is stuck with the fisherman's rickety car. The next day, Oleg visits his girlfriend Sveta, who works in a bank. Oleg cannot get a loan because he has not finished the one he owes. Sveta tells him that there is an alternative. Oleg can ask her family for help. As the family owns a house, they can use it as insurance so Oleg can get the money he needs. Oleg is reluctant to go through with that plan as he cannot stand the family and would rather be as far away as he can. But Sveta points out he has no other options. Sveta and Oleg travel to the family's home. The family stays in the house together despite being on each other's throats almost every minute. Boris, Sveta's father, likes to sing and play guitar despite having little talent and has never left the house in 5 years as he thinks he is a wanted man. Her maternal grandfather named Pavel just wishes he could drop dead already. There's Rita, who works as an accountant but has a fantasy for acting. There is her brother Tori, who desperately wants to join the army but can't because he has asthma. He still spends his day working out and filling applications but has a talent for training dogs. Last and least, there is Sasha, who wishes she could become a mature woman and has a crush on Oleg. Oleg tries to explain his financial troubles to Boris, but he has to wait until he is done with singing. Afterward, Boris is shocked that Oleg can dare ask him to give up his house. He feels like that is modern slavery, and his family would not suffer from the action. Oleg tries to explain that all he needs is a guarantor letter, but Boris pays him no heed. The two start arguing. Their argument is interrupted by a meteor that lands right in the living room. The family's first thought is they are under attack, so they run outside, maybe hoping to get the culprits. When they see the beautiful sky dancing with descending meteors, they leave it be and return to check on their grandfather. The old man has suffered the brunt of it all and looks like he had been dumped in an ash pit. The family takes him to bed. Soon after, they start working on digging out the meteor. Unfortunately, the family departs one by one and goes to sleep, leaving Oleg alone. Maybe he hopes he can sell the meteor and get something close to the million he owes the criminals. Oleg manages to dig the dazzling rock out in the morning. He places it in the living room and goes to check on the grandfather. Pavel's life is ebbing away, and the last message he has to his family is not a very colorful one. After he dies, Oleg confirms no pulse and goes to tell Sveta. However, Sveta is asleep and lost to the world. Exhaustion gets the best of him, and he dozes off too, only to be rudely awakened by Tori. Tori takes him downstairs, where strange things are happening. The rock had turned liquid, Tasha had gained super strength, and Rita could fly. She was at the ceiling currently. Suddenly, Sveta joins the family, but only half of her body is visible, and Pavel gets up, startling Oleg. This makes him release Rita, and she flies out through the hole in the ceiling. The minute she does, she falls on the ground and Pavel falls on the floor dead. The family realizes that the powers only work if they are together. Boris's power is teleportation, and Tori can speak and understand his dogs. The family goes to get tested, and the doctor confirms that nothing is wrong with them. They learn the meteor had given them special powers. Oleg wants the family to perform so they can get some money, but Boris refuses to use his family like that. That night, Oleg asks Sveta about the bank and how it stores its money, but Sveta is worried as to whether she would have invisible children. Boris decides that the family needs a vacation so they can deal with the news, and he takes them fishing. On the grounds, the family experiment with their gifts and learn a little control. Oleg has come up with an idea. Of course, it involves robbery. Using Sveta's gift, she can enter the bank undetected and get all the information they need to steal money while the family waits for her outside. Boris refuses this plan and the whole family argues. The only person who wishes he would be 6 feet under is Pavel, and can you blame him? Oleg is angry that the family cannot help him and decides to leave. Sveta follows him and warns the family to put Grandpa into the basement until they return. On the way, Oleg is complaining when the two are pushed off the road. A car stops in front of them, and the guys are revealed to be the smugglers. They want their money back and warn Oleg that they would sell his organs to the black market if he does not present the money in a week. Sveta finally understands what the whole ordeal meant and agrees to help her boyfriend out. The hardest person to convince is her father, so Sveta plays the daughter card, saying she never asked for anything, so why is her father denying her now? Boris finally agrees when he sees a beautiful home the family could buy with the money. The next morning, Oleg is surprised when he sees everyone list conditions to be met if they are to go through with the plan. Pavel wants his body cremated immediately after the robbery. Sasha wants a date with Oleg, and Rita wants to perform in theater. Boris informs Oleg that if he wants the family to help him, then he too must become part of the family. The family books Rita's performance. They visit the crematorium and get a note for Pavel that he should stick on his chest when he dies, and they check out the bank they would rob. It wasn't Sveta's, so they could avoid suspicion. When they get home, they find Tori has shaved his hair because he was finally accepted into the military. Worried about his plan, Oleg makes a few connections so the military can deny Tori entrance. Tori is so devastated, but Boris is happy, saying the military has seen the light and his son would stay with him. Oleg tells the young man that after the robbery, he would help him get into the military, earning the boy's trust. Way to go, Snake Man! Finally, Oleg goes on a date with Sasha, who reveals she wants Oleg to go with her as she hates her family. Invisible Sveta is seated next to them and finds this amusing. Before Oleg can let her down easily, the smugglers join them and start roughing Oleg up. Sensing that the smugglers were bad guys, Sasha beats them up until the family flees and her power ends. It is now time to execute the plan. The family parks the car outside in the hot sun while Sveta gets naked and invisible. She gets in the bank noting codes. At one time, the family has to move their vehicle, and Sarah is visible to an old man and a guard in the vault room. However, she soon becomes invisible and the poor men think they were hallucinating. The plan goes awry when the police stop them for a random checkup. Boris assumes he would get arrested for being a wanted man and accidentally teleports into the armored truck, getting arrested. Oleg gets him out later, after losing another car. At home, he is angry at the family, seeing with the powers they have, they cannot do anything but scratch their asses. Oleg wants to leave, but Boris and the other family members kidnap him. That night, they execute the plan, but it goes wrong when they leave too much damage. Sasha creates a hole in the wall and drags the safe out, and the family collects money from the safe in the streets. Pavel, who was distracting some men, leaves behind a cloud of fire. Police arrive, but Tori gets dogs on them, allowing their escape. The family drives for a long time until they reach a cliff where they can finally celebrate their win. Pavel instructs the family to leave him at the cliff so he can die, and the family agrees. However, when they see his body slump to the floor, they go back, resurrecting him. Pavel is very angry and warns them against that, saying they made a promise. Reluctantly, the family says its final goodbyes. In the car, Sveta is greatly affected by Pavel's death and refuses her share of the money, wanting to take it back. Oleg does not agree and warns they would be arrested as soon as the plan was not as smooth, so Sveta kicks him out, saying she cannot be with him anymore. Oleg feels that, after all this, the family can never accept him, so he just leaves. He pays the smugglers his debt and goes to the airport. In the waiting area, he learns that the family has been arrested trying to get Pavel's body from the crematorium. At first, he refuses to go back and board the airplane, but then a weird love for the family gets to him, and he goes back. His first stop is the crematorium. The owner, on seeing many people want Pavel's body, demands $1 million, and Oleg has no option but to give all his money. He takes Pavel to the court where the family is having its hearing. When the two get inside, the family regains its power and uses this to escape the courtroom. They overpower several guards while Sasha opens the cell to let her siblings out. Outside, police wait for them, but Rita floats above them claiming to be a religious apparition. The family manages to get a car, and the police snap out of it and follow them. Boris teleports to the police cars, leading them astray. Oleg uses his water shooting skill to clean the windscreen. Sasha makes the car take a sharp corner, crashing all vehicles behind her, and Rita makes the car float away. Boris finally looks at Oleg and determines his crazy plan has made him part of the family. Later, the family pays the same smugglers to allow them passage to Thailand. In the end, the family has 20 days where they would be stuck together in a container. Perfect ending. That's all from the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help us out. Bye!